Did you know that the Kaziranga National Park in Assam is a UNESCO World Heritage Site? Well, if you did not know, now you do. But maybe what you did not know is what is a UNESCO World Heritage Site? Well, don't worry. That is what today's episode will be covering. With Inusama present here, a geography expert who has been traveling the world, he will be explaining to us what World Heritage Sites are and why Kaziranga is one of them. Inusama, great to have you here. Glad to be here. Well, to get us started on the episode today, Inusama, how about you tell us a little bit about what UNESCO stands for, what is this organization aiming for? Well, UNESCO stands for United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization. It is a special agency of the UN, United Nations. It was outlined in a constitution signed November 16th, 1945. It was initially focused on rebuilding schools, libraries, museums that had been destroyed in the Second World War in Europe. Ever since then, they have focused on facilitating, assisting, and supporting the member states of UN in their national efforts towards eliminating illiteracy and extending free education. UNESCO also encourages a free exchange of ideas and knowledge. There are interesting things about UNESCO that I would love to share. This agency, while known for safeguarding physical sites since 1972, like the Galapagos Islands, actually also safeguards intangible cultural heritage, things that essentially are not always a physical site, but something that also exists as an idea, like the Thailand's corn mask dance, or the tango in Argentina, or the kimchi from Korea, or falconry of the Middle East, the practice of falconry from the Middle East, yoga, and much more like this. UNESCO uh, also has an observatory of skilled journalists, which collects data about threats that journalists and media workers face. They take this data, put them out in a report every 4 years, and that report is called the World Trends in Freedom of Expression and Media Development Report. UNESCO also is the only global body which can lead an intergovernmental research and capacity building in earth sciences, with its International Geoscience and Geoparks program as a primary think tank of earth sciences research all over the world. Thank you. Uh, I feel like when it comes to all the organizations under UN, people talk a little less about UNESCO compared other ones like the Security Council or the General Assembly. On a side note, though, can we take a moment for the fact that you and I both are all green today? Green, go green, let's go. Very nature vibes. Good for the topic today. Anyways, moving on, since World Heritage List is part of UNESCO, what is it all about? You mentioned, it's safeguarding physical sites like the Galapagos Islands. What's the kind of the main motto of having a World Heritage List? Okay, so for this thing, we will go back to 1959. We have United Arab Republic, which is Egypt and Syria, and we have Sudan. They go to UNESCO and they ask it to somehow protect the Egyptian Nubia, the monuments and ancient sites of Egyptian Nubia, because they were threatened because of a construction of the Aswan High Dam. So UNESCO, reaches out to the international community for assistance, and that leads to one of the largest archaeological rescue operations in history. Now, that will be another tale for another day, but the point here is that the entire operation, the scale of it, the international coordination that came with it, as well as the benefit that it entails, led for a lot of conservationists to, come to the conclusion that perhaps there was a need to preserve and protect the global cultural heritage. American officials like Joseph Fisher and Russell Train were at the focus, at the forefront of the effort to create such a body that would that would preserve and protect global cultural heritage. And even in 1965, they went ahead and recommended this idea to the White House Conference on International Cooperation. But it just did not gain enough traction, not enough attention in the US. And by 1966, similar such initiatives were being proposed by the IUCN, the International Union for Conservation of Nature, and the International Council on Monuments and Sites. In 1966, Venice was hit by a major flood, which drew a lot of global attention for the fact that it was risking a shared heritage. UNESCO and Italian government went ahead, came together, and decided to repair and restore the damage that was done. But it was soon clear that doing this case by case, was not enough. Like they realized that waiting for a disaster to occur or be imminent towards a cultural site and then only you go ahead and save that cultural site was not enough. Maybe there was a need to sort of a precautionary step where you already have a cultural site that was protected beforehand, even before something happens, not after something happened. So as the idea for this came together in 1972, the delegates at the United Nations Conference on Human Environment in Stockholm came together and for in an overwhelming number for such a program, for such an idea of protecting the world heritage. 16 November 1972, UNESCO adopted the Convention concerning the protection of the world cultural and natural heritage. And that is exactly where the the idea of World Heritage Site finds itself. These are sites that are designated for having outstanding universal value under this convention. It was adopted in 1972 and came into effect in 1975. So there are three types of sites that are found under World Heritage Sites, like the cultural, natural, and mixed. Now, cultural sites are the historic buildings, the town sites, archaeological sites, sculptures, paintings, all your historical things, the Taj Mahal, or all sorts of sites like that. Natural heritage is natural areas that are sort of an outstanding example for the Earth's record of life or its geological process. Places where you can find a trace back to Earth's life, a trace back to the entire geological process over the millions and millions years of, life of Earth. Or they are excellent examples of the ongoing ecological and biological evolutionary process, places where ecological and biological evolutionary processes are happening, and they are excellent examples. We have that type of sites. We have sites that contain a certain natural phenomena that may be rare, that may be unique, or may be outstanding in beauty, and then we have a place that could be a habitat for rare and endangered animals, plants, or sites of exceptional biodiversity. Now, mixed heritage site essentially mean sites that are both naturally and culturally significant. So yeah, for our viewers, there are 43 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in India. They are all sorts, cultural, natural, and mixed. And the most recent addition to the list was the mound burial system of the Ahom dynasty from Assam, which was added last year in 2024. But as mentioned in the beginning, there is another site from Assam that finds its place in the list, and that is the Kaziranga National Park. So, Kaziranga National Park is a scenic natural area in north central Assam state in northeast India. It is located south of Brahmaputra River, at the south bank of Brahmaputra River, about 60 miles or 100 kilometers west of Jorhat on the main road to Guwahati. Now, more on this from Inusama. Yeah. So, Kaziranga was established in 1908 as a reserve forest, but it was eventually, turned into a wildlife sanctuary in 1950 and a national park in 1974. 1985 was when it became a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's about 165 square miles in, that is 430 square kilometers in area, and it lies between the Brahmaputra River and the Karbi or Mikir Hills. It's mostly marshland with large pools, elephant grass, patches of elephant grass, scattered trees, thickets, and all sort of that wildlife. It is it has the largest population of the great Indian one-horned rhinoceros or Rhinoceros unicornis, because of one horn. And then we have tigers, leopards, panthers, bears, elephants, wild pigs, hog deer, swamp deer, buffalo, pelicans, storks, and waterfall, all sorts of fauna. Uh, there is seasonal flooding that ensures that much of the park, is inundated, and the land near the river is subject to erosion, which has been a cause for the gradual decrease in animal populations over the uh, years. Now, some of the reasons that Kaziranga is so special, as I said, that natural sites can be, a place where endangered and rare animals are found. So, Kaziranga is home to two of the largest snakes in the world, the reticulated python and the rock python. It's also home to king cobra, which is the longest venomous snake globally. It is also home to leopards and Royal Bengal tigers. It, as I said, has the largest population of the great Indian one-horned rhinoceros. These the latest rhino population in Kaziranga was somewhere about 2,413, which shows that the conservation efforts of the parks are being, worth it. The efforts are worth it. The name Kaziranga is, legends say, stems from uh, the the word Kajir Arang, which essentially translates to the village of Kajir. Uh, Kajir is a common name for a girl child, and it is said that this Kajir used to rule this area in ancient times, and therefore this is like the village of Kajir, Kajir Arang or Kaziranga. Uh, there are a lot of birds like the globally threatened Bengal florican, and or the kingfisher or the Indian roller. The Kaziranga name has another meaning, the land of red goats, which comes from the Karbi language, where Kazi means goat and Ranga means red, so goat red. It's also the last remaining home of the endangered and endemic western hulok gibbon, which is the only species of ape that is found in India. There are, however, some challenges that this place faces. Rhinos are getting poached, which is a serious problem. Seasonal flood is happening, which is forcing the animals to, move away from the park, eventually enter areas where they can be susceptible to hunting or, cause crop damage. Uh, River courses are shifting, which can cause a lot of loss of forest land. Uh, Three of the Kaziranga sites are adjacent to human settlements, which can lead to a lot of human, animal conflict. Uh, there is the National Highway 37, which is a very busy highway which lies very much next to the southern border of Kaziranga, which can cause a lot of disturbance for the wildlife. I mean, it causes disturbance for you humans. It's obvious to cause disturbance for animals. I think it is truly deserving of being on the World Heritage List. And what an exciting and insightful episode I've shared with you, Inusama. I think you should also be on the list. How flattering. I wish. Maybe one day my grave will be on the list, if not me. Well, whether Inusama can be on the list or not, one thing is for sure that you will be on the list of the most knowledgeable person if you hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more of such informative episodes on the daily podcast. Signing off today.